It's Friday the 13th. Peace, love, and harmony to all of you pioneers. Another beautiful day horizon, grand rising. I woke up feeling all fly and beautiful, and I hope you did too. Sending you all much love and high vibrations. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. How are you feeling this morning, pioneers? Shout out to every single one of you who is diving deep, who's raising the frequency and raising the vibrations. Shout out to everyone who is in the heart of nature right now on this Friday the 13th, because the world is getting crazy. There's no place I'd rather be than with my pioneers, or in the heart of the matrix in the nature with the birds, bees, leaves, and trees. Can I get a hello, pioneers? We got cats running around the room. My son's asleep. We got birds twerping outside as the sun raises. And I'm in a good mood, 'cause I choose to be this morning. No sleep. Been up since yesterday. We're living in a whole new world right now, pioneers. And I want you to remind yourselves that this is the time where you have to be mindful of your energy, your prana, your Merkaba, because the next global major event I told you is around the corner. It is here. But nobody sees me. Nobody hears me, though. Israel, Hamas, what's going on? Coach Abe would like to know. We're going to talk about it. We're going to dive deep into all of it today, because I got so much information on this Friday the 13th. The Ring of Fire eclipse is tomorrow. Unbelievable times we are in. But first, I want every one of my pioneers, awakened souls, divergence, and glitches to hit that like button. Hit that share button if you support the real. If you support the truth. Because we got a whole lot to talk about on this Friday morning. But first, let's take a deep breath of that prana, that Merkaba, that life force, that energy. That was beautiful. That was sexy. And breathe out Akuna Matata, all the worries. Breathing in that good energy. Exhaling all the negativity, the fear, the false evidence appearing real that makes you forget everything and run. We're raising the frequency and raising the vibrations here on the Daily Camel Close News. Take that good energy, pioneers, this morning that I am sending you, wherever you are in this matrix and galaxy. Beautiful pioneers, we are out here in the heart of the matrix, absolutely plugged in like Neo. We don't even need Wi-Fi or the internet. I swear you'll find a better connection when you tune in to thyself. And if you're watching this video right now, this is your confirmation that you are the one. You are Neo and Trinity. You are elevating in all areas of your life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You are in the process of becoming your higher self, your greatest self. And if you're ready for that, pioneer, say, I was born ready. Oh, you were born ready? Let's go. Now, Israel, Hamas, war narratives. We got to talk about this, pioneers. We got a whole lot to talk about. The next global major event, it is here. It is near. Alien invasion? You said it was coming, coach, for the last year. It's around the corner, pioneers. But nobody sees it, though. I always tell you, pioneers, everything that I make, every episode, is designed to help you become your greatest self, your higher self. A pioneer. So we're going to take what's happening in the matrix right now and use it as an example and say, what can we learn from this situation? Not why is this happening? It was planned out. That's why it's happening. We're using it to become our greatest version, because that's what we're here to do. So are you ready, pioneers, to become your higher self, your greatest version? We got to stay positive, because the world needs positivity, love and abundance, gratitude right now. And Coach Abe and the pioneers are perfect people for the job. We're for hire. Can I get a hello there? Pioneers, beautiful pioneers of the Matrix. I'm shouting out to you right now on Friday the 13th and talking about this. Let's dive deep. So, Israel, Hamas, the next global major world event is here. But nobody, I told you, sees it during their TikTok swap videos and sporting events. So I want to send healing energy first and foremost to everyone in Israel, to everyone in Hamas, in Palestine. I want to send healing energy to you and everyone else in the world that is going through something right now today. Because let's face it, we are living in tumultuous, grandiose times, and peace is needed. Peace, love, and abundance is why I start my videos, sending you high vibrations and frequencies. Because the world needs that right now. The world needs us to be the change that we want to see in the world right now, today. And I'm trying to live by leading by example. I told you, pioneers, I've been following this whole story since before it happened. That's why we were able to call it a fourth quarter war narrative event. We were able to call it last week in a Wednesday meeting with the Stargate Ventures community to watch the blue and white Israel and for alien invasions. Thousands of people dead already. Families getting kidnapped. Children. Death on both sides. And you want to pick a flag and say, I stand with Israel because the internet or social media tells you to. The news tells you to. So you're just choosing to saying, I want this side to win while this side dies. Those are families. Mothers and fathers. Children. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Nothing. Nothing good comes out of any war that is funded by your private Western central banks. There are no winners of war. Everyone loses. Let me repeat that. There is not a single winner of war. Everybody loses. Takes a fat loss. So like I've told you, pioneers, it is not about being on the side of Israel. It is not about being on the side of Palestine, Hamas. It is about being on the side of truth, abundance, love, and gratitude. Can I get a hello? Slow motion for me, pioneers. It is always about being on the side of yourself, your higher self. Living in love, peace, and abundance. Not war. Not fear. We're living in the most amazing, monumental times in human history. And we have to remind ourselves every single day, day in and day out, that what is happening out there in the Matrix is not an accident. It was all planned out. William Shakespeare once told us the world is a stage. Storms have been brewing for a long time on this planet because they were written. Mac Tump, it was written. There's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Pioneers, what causes war? Mankind and their egos. People want to rule the world. What are we doing today, Pinky? The same thing we do every day, brain. Try and take over the world. I told you 2 wrongs don't make a right. Pioneers. And to look at this situation and to pick a side. Nonsense. You have to be neutral. You have to live in love and abundance and gratitude and not in your feelings, in fear. False evidence appearing real that makes you forget everything and run and say Israel is right, Hamas is right. Again, you're picking sides, wishing somebody else would die. You have to be the one who takes the higher standard and says, hold up, wait a minute, I'm not playing your game. I knew you needed a cover story. How about a pioneer peace army? Because we always hear about armies fighting wars. Armies causing destruction. What about pioneers causing nothing but peace on this planet? They're spending billions and trillions of dollars to go to war. How about spending millions, billions, or trillions of dollars to fund peace? Can I get a hello? You see, pioneers, human beings are still in a low frequency. Not all of us though. Globally though, the collective is in a low vibration and frequency. Because a lot of people are unable to see with 2021, 2022, 2023 foresight, because they've been lied to since the progressive 1900s, since birth. Manipulated and indoctrinated to believe what the mainstream media, your broken compass news wants you to believe. You have to think for thyself. I told you, pioneers, critical thinking is an asset in this world right now. It's what's needed in this world right now. And when I saw this story break out, after coming out and preparing people for it, I knew this was going to be tragic. Because the innocent people that are going to suffer from it and get caught in the crossfires are the ones that are going to pay. There's an African proverb: when two elephants fight, it is the ground of the earth that suffers. Think about that, pioneers. So when two elephants are fighting, it is the innocent people that will suffer. There are innocent people on both sides that are suffering right now today. I've read reports and articles, seen news getting shared around about a whole building collapsing in Palestine, in the Gaza Strip, killing dozens and dozens of people, including children. That's terrible. Harvesting your energy. I heard a story about in Israel, babies were being beheaded. Sickening. Families getting kidnapped. It's crazy what is going on, because it's the innocent people that will suffer from what the private Western central banks, your private Western central bank system, has created since World War I. They fund both sides of this war. So when we can take a step back and look at this with a mile-high view, we have to remind ourselves we can be part of the problem, or we can be part of the solution. Peace, love, and abundance. What are you doing today, pioneers? Every single day in this matrix to spread love, abundance, and gratitude, positivity instead of negativity. This fear mongering, this gaslighting. I told you, pioneers, the cosmos has the microcosm and the macrocosm. What is happening in the matrix is nothing more than a reflection of what is happening in the minds of billions of people around the planet. As above, so below, so within, so without. If you want peace in this world, we got to be the change right now today, the pioneers that are going to engineer a new dawn. Say it again, coach, you just found a new solution. If you want peace in the world, you must be the change right now today that you wish to see in the world. Now, pioneers, I'm a Martian, I'm different. I live outside the firmament. I know, I told you. You have to question everything. Everything. Because you've been lied to. Even religion. Coming from the Latin word religare, meaning to bind together. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. The difference between religion and spirituality is, let me break this down for you, pioneers, and say this loudly for the people in the back. Religion is for the people who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for the people who have been there and have walked through it. Can I get a hello? You see, pioneers, what if I told you more people have died in the name of war and religion than all wars combined? I didn't mean to add war in there. I just meant to say religion. Sorry about that. More people have died for religion beliefs than all the wars combined. And I bet you didn't know that. People saying Allah, Buddha, my God is better than your God, creates wars. Do your own due diligence. But wait a second, in your holy scriptures, doesn't it say in many of them, be at peace with thy neighbor? So why are we at war? Because it was planned out. It's a show for you to see. It is real though, but the innocent will suffer. Anyone that creates a war is not following the teachings of their written scripts. Because you shouldn't kill anyone, anything, especially something innocent. Women, children, elderly. People shouldn't go to a party and enjoy themselves, not to make it home to their families. Have you seen what is happening in the world? We told you it was coming though. And it's only getting started. We got to remind ourselves we cannot take sides. It's about being on the side of truth, love, and abundance, gratitude. It's also about realizing, pioneers, that we can't drink the Jim Jones Kool-Aid. Do not live in fear. They want you in fear living every single second of the day. But how the media is reporting it is very different than what is going on. I speak to tons of people around the world, some in Israel, who are telling me and talking to me and telling people online that the media is totally not saying what's truly going on. Gaslighting, misinformation. This is coming from boots on the ground. So we have to have critical thinking, a greatest asset today. And in life, we can't always believe what is on the television that tells lies to our vision about a situation. We have to go out and find out for ourselves, do our own due diligence and research. The next global major event is around the corner, and I told you it was here. It was near. I told you we were ending the Kali Yuga and entering the Krita Yuga, the golden age, pioneers, the age of Aquarius. Thousands and thousands of years ago in the Indus Valley, they talked about this age of deceit, the age of darkness, the age of war, the age of ignorance, the age where people would suffer, innocence would suffer. And this is the reason why we have wars. The Hopis once told us in their Hopi prophecy about this age of ignorance and darkness as well. The age where people would suffer, where innocence would suffer. The reason why we have wars. They told us, these Native Americans once told us, that humanity disrespected Gaia, Mother Nature, Earth. And it forgot about the wisdom, teachings from its elders. And this is the reason why we're in the Third World War starting right now. The World War, the world of wars, chaos. It's what we see happening right now. Starting off, it was written. Mac Tump. But you don't hear me though. And they say in this Hopi prophecy that when the earth is ravaged and animals are dying and war is breaking out, a new tribe of people shall come onto the earth of many creeds, colors, and classes, and whom by their deeds and actions shall make their earth green again. And Coach Abe and his pioneers are some of them. We will be known as some of the pioneers of the rainbow, of the golden age. So shout out to all the pioneers who are shedding peace, love, and abundance in the world. Entering that metamorphosis as we see war. Wishing peace in the world right now for Israel, Hamas, Palestine. Because that is what's needed. So when we can vibrate high, lift the frequency high, and send out love, abundance, and gratitude to all these nations, even the ones within ourselves, that is what's needed. Because the next global major event is here. It is near. It's no longer around the corner, pioneers. But do you see it? You see, they're going to stop aid, water, fuel to Israel, to Gaza, unless they release the captives. They're going to start creating more and more narratives, and we're going to start hearing about this on our mainstream Broken Compass news. Only designed to keep you lost, distracted, broken, confused. When we realize that others like Iran may be involved, nuclear war may be on the outbreak, this could potentially lead to a third world war. This could be the next big major global event that they're portraying on our television. But you want to talk about your sporting events, your TikToks, your WAP videos. But we're smart enough to realize that it's happening. Albert Pike once wrote, he was a sovereign grand commander of the Scottish Rite Freemasonry. In 1871, he sent a letter to Giuseppe Mazzini, who was the godfather of Freemasonry in Italy. And he wrote to him and said, this Italian politician, and he said, the Third World War, listen pioneers, must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders, the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, that's the Arabic Muslim part of the world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Are you listening, pioneers? You got to remind yourself that this was all written out. That time, it was all written. Now, once again, Freemasonry is not bad. You got good people, bad people, all kinds of people. It's just an arm of the Knights Templar, who were burned at the stake on Friday the 13th in 1307. Today's Friday the 13th. And they've been telling you of a new world order for quite some time, for decades now. Albert Pike saying the Third World War would be implemented by what we're seeing on the screen. It's going to be caused by differences between Islamic and the political Zionist in the state of Israel, Silicon Valley, that run the world. So how the hell did he know that in 1871, before even the First World War? But you don't hear me though, pioneers, and I just spit nonsense and conspiracy. But we knew this was coming and we caught it before it happened. Fourth quarter, war narrative, alien invasion. But nobody sees the connections though. You see, everything is symbolic. Vibration, frequency, sound. See, when I heard that people were having a good time in Israel and then came in on paragliders paragliding in and just shot everyone, it was terrible, sickening, but I knew it was happening. It was coming, something was happening, about to break out. They needed a cover story to hide behind as we head into our next election year. This is symbolic of what happens every 4 years, an event. The Roman poet Juvenal once said, "Are you not entertained? Bread and circuses is how you distract the masses." But at the same time, don't fall asleep. Get your popcorn ready, pioneers. This is a lesson to learn. Like Nas once said, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. You got people who are taking selfies in the world right now, just acting like everything's okay, not realizing the kind of world we are living in and approaching right now. The time to study and be aware, becoming a werewolf, a pioneer, to get right with thyself. The time to realize that what happens in the East will soon affect what happens in the West. So on and so forth. What happens in the South will soon affect what happens in the North. Before long, the whole globe will be affected by what is going on and what is coming. Most people won't even be ready for what happens next. You won't even turn a blind eye. We able to turn a blind eye to what happens next. Once upon a time, we could just sing and dance in this matrix because ignorance was bliss, but not anymore though. Not in the age of knowing. Ignorance is expensive pain. Pain that we need for growth as a pioneer. So the lesson that we can all learn from this, the situation we're seeing in the world right now today, to become our higher self, the pioneer, our greatest self, is to realize we have to be a part of the peace, love, and abundance solution and not part of the problem and the situation. We have to make sure how we live our lives, because most people are existing in life. To live backwards is evil. We have to cultivate peace within ourselves. Again, the microcosm and the macrocosm, what is happening out there is also happening within. But if we realign our moral compass, we can help realign the world. It's not about a world war out there. It's about a world war within us that we have going on within our heart and our brains. People are at war with themselves, and they refuse to see it. It starts with us pioneers first, reminding ourselves to purge the shadow, to heal ourselves. When we fix our unresolved issues, stop placing hurts, habits, and hang-ups in our way. I'm a coach. I'm trying to inspire millions of people. It's not about the millions in the bank account. I'm trying to do the work every single day, leading by example. I know how hard it is, so just imagine if nobody's done the work. All their pain, frustration, hurts, habits, and hang-ups, their denials, they're going to take it out on someone else, because hurt people. And this is the reason why war is created in the first place. Because people are not at peace with thyself. People are not working on thyself, working the process to get to their outcome. This is the reason why war is created in the first place, because mankind is still not aligning with their ego, accepting thy ego. They're still battling their ego. Ego creates war. It's time to spread as much love, abundance, and joy as possible, and not vibrate on the 100 hertz fear frequency. We gotta vibrate on the 600 hertz of peace, pioneers. I'm a Martian peace from outside the firmament. Let's go. It is time to stop believing in the broken compass news and everything they tell you. It's time to stop choosing sides. I stand with Israel. Nonsense. They're literally harvesting your energy and you're giving it to them. You ain't even fighting. Be on the side of justice, love, and truth. I told you, pioneers. That's our mission here, is to give you the truth. But you have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. I only speak to the ears of leadership. So when you say I'm from this nation and that nation, there's always going to be a war. When you're stuck in identity politics, ego's always going to be involved. Everything bleeds red. It's one humanity, one world. Everything is connected. One world, one song, one sound, universe. There should be no war. Nothing good comes out of a war. War, haha, yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Nothing. Only bloodshed. Is this the way you want your children and your grandchildren to be raised? How you want humanity to grow? Because we could stop this next global major world event that is here, World War III, by being a pioneer, by choosing peace, love, and abundance. Those three. Pioneers, you got to do your part, because the hand that rocks the cradle controls the nation. Even my cat in the room agrees. The hand that rocks the cradle controls the future of our nation. Rock the cradle. Rockabye baby. Women need to understand their womb is a stargate. And they have a tumultuous power to encourage men to move towards peace. Because men cause a lot of the war. And men as protectors have to move towards peace. Because we can't have our children being beheaded, kidnapped. This is not good. No. We cannot have people getting killed in wars, because we're supposed to be the protectors and the providers. So men have to step up and be actual men. So instead of stunting for the social media, the Instagram, taking your selfies instead of realizing thy art is selfie, Genesis 1:26 says you were made in the image of God. Posting about what's going on in the world, I stand with Israel. Master thyself, pioneers. You are the selfie. Stop falling for this nonsense, these distractions that we're able to prepare you for ahead of time. That nobody sees though. They don't want to hear us though. You see, the internet is amazing because at the same time it's also bad as it is good. People were becoming artificial though. Cyborgs, automatons, androids. And this is all part of the next world global event, transhumanism, where you'll be connected to the matrix, to the mainframe smart grid on the blockchain, living in 15-minute cities, cashless societies, digital IDs and microchips. It's on its way. And they gotta microchip you. You got a phone you carry every day, don't you? Huh. Dang, what's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Terminator. Isn't that a great movie that kind of showed this? China, they got the social credit score. The next world major event is around the corner, but you don't hear me though. Think about it, pioneers. If you misbehave, if you do this, you break the law. They'll take points from you. They'll fine you. They'll say you can't travel and leave your house. They're already doing it. They just ain't doing it here yet. The next world global event is around the corner, and what are you doing to prepare? What is my intuition, my intuari telling me? We are in the greatest times. A rough ride. Some hell of times. And the reason why is because humanity is still caught in their ego, in war, negativity, and fear. And there's a massive split happening between 3D and 5D, the low and the high vibrationals. And the ones who will make it out are the ones who are raised in thy frequency and vibration, sending out peace, love, and abundance, moving towards the new age, where love is going to reign supreme. So pioneers, I've talked to people from all over the nation, people living off the grid, people homeschooling their kids, people from all around the world, different races, creeds, colors, and nations, living together in peace, love, harmony, and abundance, like places at the Pioneer Academy on the Discord that we have, choosing peace and a community as a solution instead of war. The only hope is we come together. Because Babylon is fallen, pioneers. It was written. The matrix is over. And the code is crumbling. That's why we're able to see it. And this is the reason why we shouldn't get comfortable in the matrix right now. Because it's all about to be blown to smithereens. But the ending is just a new beginning hidden in disguise. Oppenheimer, that movie, that film, do you think it's a coincidence that it was just released? But you don't hear me though. They are telling you World War III is coming to a TV near you. You got Iran, you got China, you got Russia, you got Taiwan. You got Israel, the US, Hamas, the UK. Can you not see what is going on? It is time to wake up, pioneers, and get your head out of your arse and realize, with those realize, humanity must do better. We must, as pioneers, do better for our children. For the women, the men, the elderly, the plants, the animals, Mother Nature. Because nothing innocent, no child, should be living in fear of their life. Because we're going to go through trauma. I told you, pioneers, I'm a coach. I've been through trauma. I've coached people through trauma. Remember the pandemic a few years ago? When everybody went through trauma and another one might be just around the corner? Better watch out. The whole mega event is here. There's something now called CAS. Trauma caused by COVID, anxiety syndrome. People are still wearing gloves and face masks, visors, staying 6 feet apart. Now they're coming out the house. I ain't going outside today. The same thing happens with war. When you go to war, you can sometimes be traumatized. When you see war on your television, you can sometimes be traumatized because that's what it's designed to do. It creates PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Because people see things that almost no one else sees. Especially soldiers. Soldier means soul dyer. They sacrifice their soul That's why I always tell you, pioneers, that people who are pulling the strings, they don't send their own people, their kids, their own sons and daughters, loved ones, to fight in a war. They send yours. So even soldiers today, Minions, have to start being smarter. That's a great movie. All of them. The Minions, watch it. Nonsense that we're seeing, that people are falling for. Quit falling for the distractions that you're able to see in advance by knowing the world is a stage. It is all written out. People have been programmed since birth to be indoctrinated, to fall for the nonsense. Hate this, love that. It's all a program. But you see, children in our original state, we're not born hating anyone. We were born in love. And that's what we should return to, pioneers. Today on Friday the 13th, with all the possible negativity that we see coming our way as we head into the Ring of Fire eclipse. Because this video is out for you, for peace on the planet, to send you high vibrations. Because the next world global event is around the corner. But a lot of people, I said, they don't even see it as we approach the eclipse tomorrow. So remember, Johnny Cash once told us that, well, he fell into a burning ring of fire and he went down, 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 and the flames got higher. So only expect the flames to get higher, hotter here in the sauna as we approach tomorrow, moving forward into the end of October, November, December, the rest of the year. Start realizing that all life is sacred and quit falling for the nonsense that we see portrayed on our television. You see, pioneers, all this nonsense, Israel could be one of my loved ones. Somebody you know. Humanity has to do better. The banks have funded both sides of this war that has only affected the innocents, and only the innocent will suffer. And if you don't suffer from this war, soon your bank account, your savings account, and spending ability will. So remember that. Already 1,500 deaths. Oh no, sorry. But I did think I read 2,800 dead. Okay, yeah. At one point it was 1,500. And at that time it wasn't surprising because we've been talking about this 15 as we headed into Bitcoin's 15th birthday coming up in, well, let's get a cleaner one. A few days, a couple weeks at the end of October. Halloween. Samhain. So we're going to start right here with this war narrative we see at Israel. Isis, Ra, and El, pioneers. Okay, who was Ra, the ancient sun god? Who is Isis, the moon, right? Who is El, God? That's what it means in Hebrew. Okay, sun, moon, God. Israel. Okay, King Solomon, sun and moon, right? Okay, so pioneers, let me get this up here. Israel giving us that very powerful 15. Okay, tying us into Bitcoin's 15th birthday coming up. Okay, tying us into the war narrative we are seeing in Israel. Okay, during Libra, you see that 42 in war. Well, you get that same 42 during Libra, and we see Israel go to war in, well, Libra. Okay, so not surprising. Okay, but this war tying us into the god of wars, Mars, or Aries. Okay, giving us that same 15 and 51, as above so below. Correct? Tying us into tomorrow and our new moon, which is the Ring of Fire eclipse, 15 and 51, all connecting us to Israel and Bitcoin's upcoming 15th birthday. And I even said in a video, one of my most recent, that I shared with my pioneers, right here on October 1st, I said we were watching out for October 7th as a day to be aware of. Okay, So again, 6 days before, we were able to see this, okay? Just like in Wednesday's video with the Stargate Ventures community, I'm able to prepare them about Israel, the blue and the white, how we are watching it, and how we talk about aliens. And now we see, again, saucers, quote unquote, flying over Israel. Okay, again, because there is nothing new under the sun. It was all written. Even on the ancient hieroglyphs, it shows you these UFOs, or UAOs, whatever they now call them. Anyways, but yeah, so not surprising, you guys, that we see this. But anyways, if we go back to the day that this narrative started, right here on the 7th, we see that this day added up to 15 when adding 1 plus 0 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 gives you 15. This was the 280th day of the year. There are now up to 2,800 dead. Okay, so not surprising that we see this all in the code around this 15 as Bitcoin gets ready to turn 15. And I've been preemptively programming the minds of the masses and my pioneers about this 15th birthday for Bitcoin. Okay, so let's go back to October 6th real quick and we're gonna get another one out. October 6th of 1973, because this was when Israel was first attacked and went to war, the Yom Kippur War in 1973, because history repeats itself, but it's never the same. It's always similar. It's always familiar, though. So this was 50 years and 1 day. Again, as above, so below, to the 1551 we were getting in war. Mars, Israel, okay? So, not surprising that as Bitcoin turns 15, we see Israel go to war. It was written as we enter or exit the 50-year Jubilee, okay? So, it's all symbolic. It's all written in your scriptures. So, we were able to see this and the day and its importance in advance. Alright. Now, let's go back to this one right here and make another connection. If we take this to the 11th, if we go from November 10th, 2021 to October 11th, 2023, it is a span of 700 days. If we add the end day, it's 701, just like the 107 we were getting in October 7th, the Israel narrative where the war happened, or Ring of Fire eclipse giving us that 107, or this Omega event we are seeing giving us that 107 as well. It's all in the code, okay? 701 days from Bitcoin's all-time high at 69K to the 11th of October. So I was seeing that this was a day that had everything to do with the ones. It being 1 year, 11 month, 1 day to the 11th of October. 111 dropped to 0. 111. Bitcoin hit its all-time high. I was watching for a pullback in the markets. Again, this was a day that left 51 days in the year. The 314th day of the year, pi. So there's that 51 again. But when we look at the charts and we look at Bitcoin on the 11th, we got about a 4.5% pullback to the downside and touched a 10-month, going on 11-month. Again, the 11s there, the ones, an 11-month long almost parallel channel that we've used as a crucial play. Came down here to 15K again about to turn 15, we held support on the bottom side of this channel, the heart line. We broke above it, back tested it, shot out, came back and back tested the heart line in a bear trap on the March 10th. Sam Bankman-Fried French fried guy FTX ritual, bear trap, boom. We prepared our pioneers for this around the 1993 range, $19,930, able to set a limit order, accumulate, boom, off to the races. We now came back and touched back in June on the 15th. There's that 15 again, you guys. The top side of this area, we fell below it, we're bought up quickly, another bear trap. But now we've fallen below the heart line of this parallel channel that's 10-11 months old, and now we've held support at the bottom. So very crucial and critical that we're paying attention to this heading into 2 days from now, the 15th. Okay, we got a major indicator that we use here, the EMA exponential 223, your yellow, is possibly about to give us a bearish cross after our most recent rejection from a horizontal trading range of 27,200. And if this yellow crosses the blue, we could see an even more of a low come in. I do think we're headed to around 25.5 and possibly even 24.9. So looking out for this, maybe even lower. Just depends. So paying attention to that for Bitcoin as we head into the 15th of October, right after our eclipse, the Ring of Fire, and right before, at the end of the month, Bitcoin's 15th birthday. So let's get into more of the code and share why this has been pretty crucial and why I saw this coming. I came out and tried to do a live on YouTube dressed in my black and white suit with my black tie, my glasses on, my men in black with the, Omega event, alien invasion, the Israel-Hamas narrative decode. And well, lo and behold, YouTube shut me down. So we're going to go ahead and do this and just upload it and talk more about why we were able to see this narrative coming when it came, why we're seeing it now. First, I want to bring up Yale University this morning, and it's given us that very powerful 44. What was 173, the 40th prime? That was the 40th week, was their birthday. We're in the 41st week of the year, and we enter the 42nd week of the year on October 8th, October 15th. So paying attention to that as well. There's that 15 again, that 42, the beast reigns for 42 years, or 42 months. We're in Libra 42. Could we see 24K in the 42nd week of the year, as above so below, right before we transition out of Libra on the 22nd into Scorpio? Kind of makes me wonder. Just something I'm throwing out there. But I want to bring up Yale University real quick and talk about them. It's given us that 44. That is tying us into, let me make sure it goes down there. The 44 we were getting in, well, Israel, Hamas attack that we saw. Okay? So pretty important. That 117 we get when we type out Bitcoin. I've been paying attention to the, potential black swan we could see in Bitcoin around this attack, because again, this is the Omega event that I've been calling for, but it is a black swan event that has been planned out. Most black swans come out of nowhere. But that 51, okay, tying us into Israel again, okay, the 15 and 51 connection, the 44, tying us back into, well, Yale University, Israel Hamas attack, okay, but it's also tying us into alien invasion, which is what we saw flying over Israel. That 144, 1 times 44 is 44. It just gives more emphasis to 44, or the 144,000 chosen that will not fall for this scripted Project Bluebeam nonsense. But again, solar eclipse, which is tomorrow. giving us that same 44 connection. All right here as we see these same narratives, these same things going on in Israel. I brought up Yale University because this attack happened 2 days prior to October 9th, which was Yale University and Skull and Bones' 322nd birthday. And this war narrative kicks off that we see death centered around, okay? The Brotherhood of Death. In the 2023 year, they are known as the Order 322. 2023 remove the 0, it is as above so below to 223, the year of the bonesman. We prepared you for it since last year, 2022, that this would be a crucial year to pay attention to scripted narratives from the 322, the bonesman. So, again, this tied to Yale University and its birthday, but Yale is also a mythical creature, okay? Mythical creature, alright? So think about that. Alien, mythical, creature, alright? So put the 2 and 2 together here. That's what we're making connections to, alright? So, even mythical gives you that same 44. Right there. Pretty amazing. So just tying this into why we're seeing these events happen at the same time we're seeing a Friday the 13th, Yale's 322nd birthday, and a Ring of Fire eclipse. So let's dive into this a little bit more. Again, alien, giving us that same 94 connection that we are getting to the Omega event that I prepared you for quite some time. Okay? It's all tying us into, well, they tell you they come from another planet, correct? Nothing comes from outside of the firmament. God showeth his handiwork. It says it in Psalms. Okay? So remember that. But giving you that same 94 connection. Project Bluebeam released to the public in 1994. All coming from the studies of ufology. Okay? So right here, do your own due diligence. You can look at Serge Monast, the Canadian investigative journalist that wrote about Project Bluebeam, coming from Project Blue Book. Okay? Again, released in 1994. Coming from NASA, Never a Straight Answer, or the Aramaic word Nashah, meaning to deceive. Ponder that for a moment, pioneers. So, very important. But Israel hummus distraction is what we are seeing. You guys know I love my distractions. Not giving us that same 94 connection. Okay? So, not even surprising that we see all this lining up in perfect order. Okay, so one thing to note is alien invasion, the saucers flying over Israel, whatever. We're in the year of the rabbit, remember? In Chinese zodiac, correct? Awesome. Which started January 22nd, 2023. Okay, and it goes until February 10th or 12th of 2024, right before the Super Bowl, I think it's the 10th. So that's the year of the dragon next year. But the year of the rabbit reminds me of, well, the invasion of the bunny snatchers, and Bugs Bunny being the first one abducted off of television that tells lies to our vision. And we're in the year of the rabbit. Not surprising that we're making these connections. Again, this was released on August 25th, 1992. Right before, 2 years before, the Project Bluebeam, Blue Book, UFO nonsense that went on in 1994. But when I decided to decode this date a little bit, I was getting pretty profound connections. That 69 tying us into Eclipse, the Ring of Fire tomorrow. But also that 63. I was like, no way, because that's again tying us into alien invasion. That, the episode was about that the bunny snatchers. But 63, we got an alien invasion, and we see this over Israel right now. So pretty unique that we're seeing this. But again, I think that's about it for the decode that I wanted to bring back up for the rudely interrupted video on YouTube the other day. So rude. But nothing new under the sun, you guys, which is why we're able to see these things in advance and use this more than 2,000-year-old code of numerology, gematria, to show you these things. Everything is numbers, word, sound, frequency, vibrations. So it's pretty unique. So let's talk about some more crypto. I'm going to share a couple things that I've shared with my pioneers in the Discord. I'll read this text real quick, sorry. Alright, so recently I've tried to be pretty adamant on what I've seen in the charts, and we'll talk about it. I shared a lot of this 111 connection. More of the code was just me explaining more of the 111 connection and why I thought we were going to have a pullback in the markets on this day tied to this Israel nonsense. But sun and moon giving you the 111, or astrology, because everything is ran on a computer off the internet in these markets, all giving you 111, all tied to God of Israel 111. So I was definitely staying vigilant and telling my pioneers about this. Again, you can pause the screen, read the multiple meanings and interpretations for this 111, and to me it always symbolizes a fresh start and new beginnings. That's how I've been able to, find acceptance in this number 111. So yes. But yes, we've been following this move for Bitcoin on the 2-hour time frame and just taking advantage of the shorting opportunity from the 11th. We've kind of, like I said, have held support now at this level right here that I'll show you on the charts. So something I've been trying to keep pretty adamant with my pioneers is about a move potentially up or down. Plan A right now is we're still getting ready to continue to short this market. Stop losses are set at about 27,200. So if we climb up here, we might get rejection. My stop loss might trigger you guys. Oh well, win some, you lose some. But if we were able to gain support, we know that we're off to the races, 28K again, possibly even higher. But right now we're kind of holding support of this 0.5 fib from our August 15th at 15 again to our most recent low. So we're kind of out of the territory of a dead cat bounce as long as we can hold support. We kind of fell down here, double tapped this parallel channel, which means nothing. But now we're kind of just consolidating in, I thought was a possible W pattern, but might end up just being a massive M pattern that rolls on over, kind of very similar to C19 back here. This M pattern just rolled over. So we'll have to continue to see if we hold support of this 0.5 at 26,700, or if we come down here, lose 26.6, 26.5, heading into tomorrow. Today, Friday the 13th, the market's closing because it's a Friday, heading into the weekend. We tend to sometimes see unsophisticated traders cause, bad weekends, good weekends for the market. So we'll have to see how that plays. But weekends, there tends to be potentially a push down sometimes. No institutions, no sophisticated traders. So we'll have to see how this plays out. What's pre-baked into this weekend ahead of time. Tomorrow is important. The Ring of Fire eclipse, a Saturn day. It's 114, 114. That's tying us into DNA. Sorry, I know I get off track sometimes, but deoxyribonucleic acid gives us that same 114. So every one of you are highly tied to tomorrow. That's 69. Tomorrow is an eclipse, giving us 114, 1014. So pretty powerful tomorrow. Download that DNA from the moon, you guys. But yeah, awesome. What I want to talk about, I have my notes right here. Alright, daily time frame. We've recently talked about this rising wedge where we saw a 68% chance of a breakdown. We're holding our, what I've called as a liquidity range, from 31 to 26.5. So we're kind of still holding that as support right now. 26.5, like I said earlier on the other chart, if we lose it, we can follow it around 25, 24K. Support, resistance. So until we lose these two supports, then we could just come down here even, around 25.5. Just set a kind of low, a little bit of a higher low, and maybe even a third higher low, before moving up if we don't continue to go down. So, but if we look at this, the measured move is going to be down here to about 25,500, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I mean, that's perfect, 25,500. So, I mean, conservative, we might not make the 24K that we've been calling for in Libra. We're running out of time because we got about 9 days before that changes into Scorpio. So, we see that we've got a breakdown. Do we get a push up to around 27,200 like we were sharing in our previous chart, our horizontal resistance, which was support? It's been resistance for the last 6 months. Hasn't quite been support yet. But if we push up there, we could push right back down. Just get a resistance from that level, this trend line of the rising wedge, and come right back down to 25.5. So until we can flip and hold this 27,200 on the daily, 5-minute, 2-hour time frame, then it's going to be rough. So let's go to the weekly Bitcoin chart. Look at the 200 SMA, your red line. Again, we've talked about this recently, this 28K resistance from 2+ years ago. Support, 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 resistance, resistance. We lost it as support, and now resistance. So under the 200 EMA on the weekly, not amazing. RSI, still going down, you guys. Right here, we were setting a high in the RSI, a lower high, but the price action was setting a higher high. So this is a hidden bearish divergence on the weekly, which is why it's showing price action hasn't been doing a lot. But again, we know the Bitcoin halving is coming. War narrative is here. That tends to be good for crypto, and speculative assets, metals, sometimes gold. So as we get closer to April 2024 or March, typically 2 to 3, 4 months, 6 months prior, we tend to see a dip and a great buying opportunity before a run-up starts. Sometimes it's even 2 to 3, 6 months after. So, leading all the way into mid-next year could create further buying opportunities for these cryptos in the near-distant future. So not financial advice, just showing you what I'm seeing here. We could come all the way back down to this 55 simple moving, exponential moving average. No, it's a 55 simple, and this 223 exponential. So this yellow 24,800, 24.9, like we were talking about in the previous chart on the 2-hour time frame. So getting multiple charts showing multiple ranges of pullbacks, potential opportunities to accumulate before we move up. Maybe it's not the low. Maybe we come to 22, 23. It's quite possible. We do have this what is that, 322 exponential moving average at 20,900. I'm pretty positive that is our CME gap, you guys. Let's take a quick look at that right here and go right down here to 20,320. That's 232 or 223, however you look at it. But also right there at around 21,085 is where it starts to the downside. So we could easily lose this, close this gap. 9 out of 10 times CME gaps get closed. Then we could be bought right back up over time to close this $34,000 gap right here, dating all the way back to May 5th. Okay, so pretty interesting. Alright, so definitely keeping an eye on all this. But I'm about to have to get off here and get ready for work, you guys. I'm running out of time. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. You're keeping an eye on our measured move to the downside to around 25.5, falling out of our fallen wedge pattern that we've shared with you right here. Support could come in right there. RSI could be reaching oversold, underbought at this range. So we're going to need to pay attention to that. That's not the only indicator that determines whether or not we're moving up or down. We need to confirm volume coming into these markets as well. What is the volume doing at the time? Let's look at a few more things. On the daily time frame, exponential moving averages. So we've lost support. Very easily have just got rejected on the daily of the 223 and lost the 322 as well. So could also confirm a push down. We tend to de-risk above this. We tend to accumulate below this. That's how we trade these two exponential moving averages. We're looking for the yellow to cross the blue and stay above it. It just crossed, but it could only stay crossed for now until we get price action to the downside. Then it crosses below. These are lagging indicators, so price action will move first. We know this. Very important. Let's hide those and look at a few more things. Okay, so yeah, confirming 26,100 is still a potential great buying opportunity right now for sure. Open orders set in these ranges on the daily. Let's look at the weekly. Taking us all the way down to 25.3, so potential 25.5 as well. Showing even more confluence to this on the weekly 2-hour time frame. Yeah, that's what I was looking for in my 24s. Right there at around 24.6 to 24.9 like we were talking about. So great opportunities to set limit orders at some of these places. Get ready to short if we get resistance. RSI looks like it wants to make a move to push up, maybe set another, lower high than our previous high, and just still be in a downtrend, you guys. So we're going to pay attention to that. Nothing to be said on XRP right now except for the fact that it's at 47 cents. And we did share recently. That's not the chart I want. A potential possible retest of 46 cents in our Wednesday night meeting last week with the Stargate community, last night as well with another one I did with them. These are ranges we've talked about in the past for XRP. We know we've been in this, what we can consider as a kind of like a bear flag, very similar, but it's a rising channel, a parallel channel. That basically gave us a 68% chance of a breakdown to the downside from our 51 cent range. So back in September, at the beginning of September, I said we would be lucky to, we were falling off on the 1st of September. And when I did my Wake Me Up When September Ends video, and I said, you guys, we'd be lucky if we get back to, 51 cents for XRP. We managed to get up to 54, which was great de-risking opportunity, kind of a double top in the charts right here before rolling completely right back over. If we take a fib and we pull an accumulation pool from our September 11th, 9/11, imagine that, lows to our highs, you get a 786, 702 opportunity for potential buying right here at the 888 around 46 cents, a critical level for XRP and Ripple that we teach you about, because Ripple XRP equals 42, 46. Okay, so if we fall below 46, we tend to see chaos for XRP. So remember that. So this is a potential opportunity to buy right here at 46.47 cents, because 47 is the 15th prime number and XRP equals 15, just like the 15 coming up for Bitcoin's 15th birthday, or tomorrow the moon 15, and the eclipse leading into the 15th. And don't forget, the 16th and the 15th are the last days to do your taxes. So we've got all this market narrative right now in the fiscal year in October, heading into the weekend, heading into the tax deadline, you guys. So with all that being said, I'm going to leave this video here, and I hope you enjoyed it. Potential look for a 46 cent, maybe even a 44 cent, 41 cent XRP, 40 cent XRP, to potentially accumulate if we were to continue to see Bitcoin and cryptos pull back, heading into the Ring of Fire eclipse that Johnny Cash fell into and went down, down, down. So take care. God bless on this beautiful Friday, Freya Day, Friday the 13th. Giving us 223, that very powerful 2023 or Skull and Bones connection right after Yale's 322nd birthday. And don't forget, very important day. Everybody's going to be on edge. Negativity. Everything bad happens on Friday the 13th, like a Mercury in retrograde is back. So with all that being said, pioneers, take care and God bless. Pioneers, rise. Build your fortress and build your legacies.